Hey, it's Grover with Old Ones with Dice. On today's video, we're going to talk about the terrain for Demonship. Now, this terrain package is a separate package you can get from Blacksite Studios. Blacksite Studios, if you haven't heard of them, you need to go check them out. They're definitely the premier MDF terrain manufacturer right now. They're producing some amazing kits for pre-painted, cyberpunk, sci-fi, historical, modern terrain pieces, usually in about 28 to 32 millimeter scale. You definitely need to check them out. A few years ago, they started coming out with a number of games. I think their first one was Don't Look Back, which is a really fun horror tabletop miniatures game, basically where you get to relive horror movies of the 80s and 90s. It's a lot of fun. I own it. I've painted it up, and I really like it. They have a few other games they've been putting out. One of the ones that really intrigued me was this one, which was Demonship. It is a solo game, kind of a dungeon crawler, science fiction, kind of Doom, basically. What's really cool about it is played on a 6x6 self-contained table that you rearrange room to room. It's a dungeon crawler. So this is the terrain that in this video I'm going to be unboxing and building. It's a little awkward. The video's a little awkward. It was a stream that I tried to re-edit. There's some audio issues, particularly in the first few minutes. My mic's not on. But if you go through, you should be able to scrub through it, take a look, get a good idea of what this terrain looks like and how it goes together. Now, I'm not doing an unboxing of Demonship because it's already been done by World of Wargaming. He did a really good job. I'll put a link to his video down in the description. If you're not following him, you definitely need to be following him. Me and him have pretty similar tastes in games, and he beat me to it. He also did a scratch build for this terrain board. He did a really good job with that, but I wanted to go with the MDF because I really like working with MDF, particularly the stuff coming from Blacksite Studios. So I'll have links to these sites down below in the description. Also, I'm going to put an actual direct link to the instructions on how to build this terrain because I had a little trouble finding it, but in retrospect, it shouldn't have been that hard. I just needed to look a little bit farther on the page. So anyway, go ahead, take a look at this video. It's kind of long. Scrub through it, get an idea how this terrain goes together, what it looks like, and until next time. So you're going to see me looking off to the side, trying to figure out how this goes together. All right, so bottom piece. Now these guys do a really good job with their cuts. Usually everything pops out pretty quick and easy. You're going to get these little bits. That's where the Sharpie comes in. Nice bonus is your house is going to smell like you have a campfire going. These pieces are MDF. They're laser cut. And again, these guys do a really good job. I've worked with some other MDF that just is, sometimes these cuts aren't the cleanest, but I've never had a problem with anything from Blacksite Studios. Oh. So, looks like this is going to be my baseboard. Then, there's 4 pieces. Okay, there's a molding piece. Yellow. There we go. Okay, so we're starting with this piece. This is D27. I'm going to look for D23, 21. There. All right. Slot is at the bottom. So I'm just going to dry fit these all together. Make sure we are set up. I generally use just Elmer's glue. It doesn't hold quite as strong as super glue, but it gives me some working time, because sometimes MDF, getting these pieces to fit together just right, particularly when you have joints, it's nice to have a little bit of working time. Nothing worse than sliding some pieces together, they're sealed, and you realize you made a mistake. All right. All right, we're gonna let that sit for a bit. Still soft, so be real careful with it. Not like that. More like that. There we go. Set this aside. Except for these 4 panels of drill. One of them is different. This one goes to the front, I think. All right, so 2 short ones on the side. All right. So my goal here is get the base done. We're going to set it aside, and there's going to be lockers and other pieces that'll fit that we'll be able to work on while this is drying. And this is going to be the trickiest one, I think, doing that front. These others have pretty flat face to flat face. So this one only has a relatively small area that it's being glued to. And this is an area I think once this sets, I think I'm going to go through and I'm going to let this set for a bit. And we're going to go, I'm going to set this aside and that harden up a bit. And this piece I'm going to glue on using super glue. And these 4 little pieces will go on the top. Two. So, holes, these are going to be on the bottom. Now we got interior cube. Now, this is where little clamps come in. So we've got 2 of those. What's interesting is the way they do terrain is you're going to get panels. This will fit on the outside. These will glue to the outside, which gives you that 3-dimensional and multicolored texture on the terrain. And it's something that once you build some of the Blacksite Studios terrain, it's pretty ingenious, the techniques they use. These pre-colored sheets, layering them up to create textures, to create colors. One of the things I really like about them 11. Now, well, this one, well, I'm sure it's not fully hard, but now. So we're looking for A10, A11, A13. Very gently, I'm going to try to pop these little bits out. All right, so I'm ending up, oh, there's one more there. So now we ended up that piece. Oh. So up. So I want to go here. So, plenty of little bits to play with down the road. So ladder, okay, this one's down. And these pieces. So this one, these little delicate pieces. I don't want to get too much glue in there. So I got one viewer right now. Dan, can you text me, let me know if you're hearing any background music? It should be playing quietly behind me. All right, so what you can see, this is how you're going to get your three-dimensionality with these. Again, magnets on the bottom, so this will magnetize into these squares. So I admit there's probably a top piece, I'm guessing, but I'm not seeing in the instructions. So it looks like there's a couple of those. There's a short wall. Pretty similar process. Some pallets. Another thing to keep in mind with these guys, if you have any problems, their reputation is really good. I've never had any issues with any of the sets that I've purchased. They've always had all the pieces. They've always fit well together, and they've been really good. But I've heard some, people that online have talked about just how good their customer service is at Blacksite Studios. So their terrain is a little bit more expensive than you're probably expecting for MDF, but you really are getting what you're paying for. It's super quality, and the fact that it's pre-textured, pre-painted, for me, I just want to get these games onto the tabletop. So it's perfect for me. So I'm generally not a big fan of solo games, especially miniatures ones. But what really intrigued me about this is this small 8x8, I think it's 8, might even be 6x6 inch board. Just that small footprint and the fact that most of it packs up inside of itself, that really caught my attention. And they did a pre-order for it a while ago. I did not get on that, and I kind of regretted it. And then when it came up for regular retail, I jumped on it, and it took a little bit longer for the terrain to get back in stock after they fulfilled their initial orders. I'm kind of watching this for a few days, staring at my notifications, waiting for it to show up. So Dan, are you bored yet? Oh, Dan's gone. There we go. That's interesting. Hang on just a second. Let me look something up here. Oh, I got some other viewers. All right, I see I got a couple viewers popped in. So we're working on the Demonship terrain right now. Got the base partially done. Got a couple of these pieces of terrain. Let's see, next step. I'm gonna go back in instructions. Actually, I have a cup of coffee. So we got a couple of short lockers, it says. These are going to be D7. Maybe one short locker. Oh, D7. Interesting. So someone in the comments might point out, I missed a piece. It's not quite real clear in the instructions. I probably missed it. Oh, there it is. Yep. This piece here should be on the inside. It's just going to make it a little more difficult for me to get those magnets in place, but we'll figure it out. Not worried. I don't think I want to try to pull them apart. So once you start building these things, there's a general kind of trend how they put stuff together, and it's going to be repeated from building to building. It's been a while since I built anything from these guys, but there we go. So there's my 3 inside pieces, and the outer pieces will be D6. It's going to be these. Now the tricky part. Now, because this glue isn't set, it is possible I might be able to get this thing out of there. No. Well, we'll just have an adventure getting those magnets in. So it should have been like this. That bottom of the 2 holes where the magnets go, there should be a top piece, which is what I missed. Oh well. Where are my sides? So there should be some side pieces. D2. Oh, okay. So what do you guys think in general of the 2 camera system? It really wasn't that difficult to set up, but I was hoping it would give a little bit more flavor to, a little bit more flavor to the streams. Yeah, you missed the first 5-10 minutes when I couldn't figure out how to turn my microphone on. It's going to make it difficult to turn these into other YouTube videos if I don't have any sound. Dan is asking if the magnets are mine or they actually came with the kit. Well, that was fun. Magnets were included with the kit. All right, there we go. There we go. So I'm going to keep going with this stream until my battery dies. Or I'm done. Probably when my battery dies. So this camera, I was totally not expecting to use. I was going to use a different one, and it turns out one of the ones I have could do the job anyway. I'm not sure how the image quality is. It's hard to tell. To me, it looks good. So, and it's definitely my most inexpensive camera. A5. Oh. Oh, D17. That's not looking. I'm looking for a particular piece here. D7, no. Sure it's here somewhere. $16. Missing D17, which is going to be the top piece here. It's odd. Get these starting to glue, and then I'll look for it. Oh, there it is. Sometimes when these parts are real small, it can be a pain to get them out. All right, next up. All right, so let me see if I can bring this up, get a little close up, and you'll see that they are, all the numbers are etched in. I was just blind missing D17, which was supposed to be, was right here. I just was looking past it. Next up, let's see. Got the tall one. Let that dry, go back. Now I'm going to go back, work on the shorter locker. So A9, A5. If you don't pop these little pieces out, it is it's pretty hard to get them out once they're already glued on. So dry fit these. Since my audio cut out earlier, I was pointing out in that original introduction, this is Demonship from Blacksite Studios. I have the actual game. This is a separate terrain pack that they sell. And I did put a link in the description to a really good unboxing by World of Wargaming. He beat me to, his package showed up a few days before mine. So I let him do the unboxing. And he, in the meantime, actually made a box of terrain, just scratch built one. So he's also got some interesting videos for that. So, all right, that's done. Let's see. A5, A7. I don't know if anyone can see it, but I've got a weird little wasp flying around here. Get. Actually, kind of neat looking. So. If he leaves me alone, I'll leave him alone. Actually, probably a her. This piece is a little stuck. Eat. There we go. Uh-oh, down to a quarter battery on the one camera. I need to get an adapter for it. So it runs off AC power. We've been filming, I think, what have we been going for here? Oh, I'm not even sure. Hour and 20 minutes. Oof. So I'd say at this point, I'm probably halfway done, maybe a little bit more. At this point, once you kind of get into the rhythm of it, it actually, the process speeds up. Oh, I just built those backwards. That's the top. There we go. And again, these clips when building MDF, great. So what we have so far, hopefully, if this is solid. So we've got our base. So in the game, it's a dungeon crawler. You're gonna create a room, and you're gonna work your way through that room, killing whatever monsters are in there, making it to the next room. So kind of have an idea what this is going to look like. And remember, these are magnetic, so you can play them in the car. All right. These actually would make some fun little tabletop skirmish terrain, little scatter pieces. So I'm kind of looking to see. Getting tired of these air conditioning unit looking things. Let's see what else I got we can build. So we have 4 of those, 2 big ones, a small one. Pallets. Let's see what's involved with pallets. That one's got some different colors. So D10. I have it. So we're pulling a D10 and a D10. All right, and then a D22. These are sandwiched together. Okay. Huh. So as I'm going through, I'm not putting any of the magnets in. I'm going to go back and do that again. Magnets are great, but if you get them wrong, you're kind of stuck. I don't want my lockers popping off, so I want to make sure I'm taking plenty of time to make sure I'm getting that right and double checking. All right, so B10, B9. So here's where you start getting some colors mixed in. B9. So this will go like so. And then like so. All right, I'm going to take a break real quick. I now have a tree frog crawling across my floor. The wonders of living in the country. Tree frog has been rescued, has been put back outside. So okay. Now, let's see, where were we? I'm building this palette. This is kind of an interesting example of how they use different colors of MDF to create some texture and to modify that design. So I think we're going to have 3 different colors here. Everyone's gone. Excuse me. So, all right. So there should be a top panel that goes on, but I'm not going to glue it on because I'm going to have the magnets in there, and I need to make sure the magnets are properly aligned, polarity-wise, with the bottoms of this, because I'm assuming this gives me an extra layer. So I'm not going to glue it, but I am going to dig it out and look, see what it is. It is, here we go. Oh, okay, so we have the rusted metal almost. So once the magnets are actually in place, this is this kind of palette. That's what this is going to look like. So we're going to set that aside for now because I want to make sure, again, like I said, I want to make sure those magnets are properly lined up because I do not want, once those are glued in, I don't think I'm going to be able to pull them back out. All right, let's see. It's another piece. Ooh, a little tiny control panel. All right, now there were 2 pieces here and here that fell off earlier. So I should have a D15. Should be one more. And while it took me a little bit to find the instructions, once I found the instructions, they're pretty clear and easy to follow. D13, D11. All right, so Alright, before this sets, I'm going to double check. Everything looks good. Now, there's a control panel and handle. Okay, so we're looking for B6. This is this tiny little thing. And I'm looking for D25. So it's going to be... There we go. Ooh, look at that. All right, little notch on the bottom. So, all right, so, all right, so this goes in. No magnets or anything. Just to make sure I don't miss a step. Oh. Well, look at that. Interesting. That's pretty slick. So, I don't want to wiggle it too much because there's other pieces missing, but it's a little control panel. Flip it up, flip her down. All right, where are the other pieces for this? Alright, so it shows them, but not... Oh, there we go. A1, A4, A3, A1. Alright. So... Here we go. Now the other option for this terrain, if you're not gonna, you can always scratch build your own box, which you'll see on if you go to World of Wargaming. He scratch builds a table for the game. The other option is you can buy 3D print files. So this camera that I'm pointing at right now, I'm getting a warning that she's gonna die soon. So I might keep going a little bit because you don't need to see my pretty face in order to do it. In order to learn here. Because my overhead camera looks like I'm going to be going for a while. And maybe I'm easily amused, but let me make sure I get the camera angles right. This is one of the reasons I love Blacksite Studios. Stuff like this. This little piece. Boom. Up. Down. All made out of MDF. So, I got multiple colors here. I got textures. I should get like a brown Sharpie at some point, but shouldn't play with it too much while it's still drying, but this is the kind of stuff I really like about this company. Them engineering something like this. So let's see what we got. And like I said, I'm probably maybe a third of the way, 2/3 of the way through all the terrain. There are some more smaller pieces, little scatter pieces that are available here. And then in the end, when this is all completed, this is all designed so that, as long as this doesn't fall apart, eventually this panel slides in. There's a little breakout piece I need to pop out, but this will slide in. And it all fits together. So all your terrain will fit inside this little box, inside the table. And I don't know, to me this is pretty cool. It's a little bit on the pricier side for some of their kits, and I see my camera just died, so it's just hearing my voice. It's a little bit more expensive than some of the other kits, but what you get in there is actually pretty cool. So I think it's definitely worth the money. Definitely take a look. If this is something, if sci-fi, if solo game is something you're possibly interested in, definitely take a look at this. And like I have a lot of their Warzone Arabia terrain for playing Spectre miniatures or other modern skirmish games. So anyway, I think with this, now that that camera's dead, I am going to just kind of call it a day. And so I'll finish this up at another time. So, all right. Thanks for, oh, look at that. Thanks for watching, those of you that are. And until next time, this has been Grover.